What's going on, my brother? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. How's that? Can I hear you now? Are you there? I can't hear. I do not know, man. Welcome to this world anymore. So,
can you hear me now?
Let me see what I got here. Raise AirPods are 100%. I do not know why I can't hear.
Can you hear me now?
Is it this thing somewhere? Hello? 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 Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Huh. That's crazy. All right.
You can't hear me at all?
Let me see something. I turn the Bluetooth up on here. Let me see if I just take my AirPods out. If I can. Now I can hear you through the speaker.
I can hear myself.
Yeah, but it's weird. Now let me try it again. You hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. My earpods aren't working for some reason. I can hear them making noise, but they're not coming on tonight.
Yeah, I do not know. Them up.
Oh, well. I have no idea. I have to take them off.
Oh, boy. The joys.
Yeah, sorry about that. I have no idea, but I'll turn this down so you're not so loud and you don't hear yourself as bad.
There we go.
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, you should be good.
Okay. I don't know. I apologize. There we go. Anyway, welcome to tonight's Absolute Vodka Live with the Landis podcast, where my earbuds are not working. So if anyone knows an earbud fix there, earbud fix. You know what's funny is I should probably test them before we come on, and I never do, but I always test the microphone. Does that make sense?
Yes. But now your audio and video are not matching up for some reason.
Oh, great. It's going to be one of those. You know what it is? There's a solar flare out there somewhere, like tickling our asses or something. So I have no idea. Is it me?
It would seem.
Should I come out and come back in again?
If you want to.
I mean, it's kind of weird, but I don't know.
When we get to the talking part.
This is the talking part.
Or not the talking part, the watching of the videos part. You can do it during that. I have a lot of them.
I don't know, man. I try to make this work, but for some reason it's always something. It's always something, man. But anyway, welcome to those who are tuning in live, and of course those who watch throughout the week. We like you guys. Ryan's on. How you doing, Ryan? Great weekend. Absolutely great weekend. We appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, Michelle. I just can't hear apparently. The adorable puppies are asleep right for now, but I'm sure they'll be awake and tearing the place up very soon. So without a doubt. But hey, man, good. Speaking of Ryan and brain damage, great, fantastic show this weekend, man. Ryan said that there's solar flares. Yeah, man, no, that's true. There's like some solar flares going around apparently, and it's been acting. The internet's been acting up for a lot of people around the globe. So I don't know, man. Maybe if it wipes all this out, we can go back to again. We'll throw notes on rocks and we'll leave them outside the theater, and you guys can come by and pick them up and see what's going on next week.
Yeah, no printers either, so
that's okay, man. We'll just let it go, man. It'd be like what was that horrible movie with had Tom Petty in it playing Tom Petty, The Postman.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you saw that, man, where he's actually plays Tom Petty. Yes. And he's like in charge of like some post-apocalyptic village or some out in the middle of nowhere. So I'm gonna try my earpod one more time, see if it works. But I'm gonna wait until you turn on some like a preview. So let's talk about this weekend show, though, man. Because like I said, I thought we had a good show. I thought it was a great show. 2 shows, of the dark side of the rainbow, which is the pretty amazing, but oddly enough, it works. Culmination of mixing the Dark Side of the Moon album with the Wizard of Oz. I mean, and again, there are a couple versions of the Wizard of Oz, and I remember I had talked to Walt about this because there is a widescreen version of the Wizard of Oz. but it was, they took that 3:4 ratio, and I don't know if you remember back in the day, they would widen it, but they would still do like a scan and pan across it and stuff. So to make it look widescreen, but it really wasn't, but it extends and moves the film around a little. So in order to make this work the right way, we have to show it in the 3:4 frame, because if not, it throws off the whole magic of the album matching with the film, if that makes sense. So, but I can't wait to see what you pulled from it, because I literally love it, and I think there's some parts that really match. To me, the biggest match that I noticed it last time we did it, but this time, I don't know about you, what yours is, but mine is the tornado. Like that whole tornado scene, it just works so well with the album. I didn't know if you had any that stood out for you.
The ones that I grabbed were all kind of moments that there's a sheet of every time that this is all supposed to line up. And now this is our third and fourth time doing this, which is more than most people will ever listen or watch this, in their lives. There's stuff that wasn't even ever on that sheet that I noticed when they were playing it really lined up better than anyone ever described. So a couple of these clips, like if you listen to the lyrics, she's when I come home cold and tired, and she's sitting there in the snow, stuff like that.
Yeah, when she's waking up from the snow. That's right. I did notice that one too. I think you're right. There's a few. There's like something about the mountain.
One and upon the hill.
And I don't know if people, maybe it's just you and me, because we've heard the album so many times and we know the record's so good that we pick up on other things. But you're right. I don't ever remember them being in any of the things, but they do work. They fit very well. But I still think the tornado scene is probably the one that fits the most perfect, because that's when, they go off in the Great Gig in the Sky, and they start, with all the girls doing all their notes, and it's going with the tornado. And then it literally ends right as she opens the door and Money starts when she walks into the color. And I think it's just, I don't know. I feel like that's the part that probably somebody's like, no, you got to do the third line, man. So the door opens at the right time.
There's a million different ways to do it.
If you do it on the second line roar, Well, if you do it on the second line roar, does the door match up? I don't know. So.
Yeah, I saw one the other day where when Glinda first comes out, she's literally playing along to the notes of Gilmore's guitar solo, but that guy started at like an entirely different time. So I don't know, but that one lined up. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, because that was the one that I was talking about, where it had the movie in one ear and the album in the other ear, and hear what's going on in both. And it was down to like chords in the orchestra in the original one matching up.
When did they start? When did they start it with that one?
I don't remember. I could go look it up real quick when we play one. Just bring it up. I'm sure I can find it. But
I'm just curious if they started that later or earlier, because I feel like somebody tried to match that up and then decided when to start it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So,
but I think the original thing from the 80s into the 90s, when the radio DJ dropped it and kind of got it popularized, it was always the third lines roar. That was kind of the big thing, and everybody's doing. I met a couple people at the show that were saying, Ryan saying he can hear us. I can hear me too, Ryan. My mouth is close to my ears. It's my ear. These things aren't working for some reason again, but I didn't test them, so that's my fault. So, but no, a couple people at the show that actually said they had tried, to match it up a couple times, which I thought was kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And then I had a group of friends that I haven't seen in a long time that came out, and they were blown away. Eric was just blown away by it. He thought it was the coolest thing he'd ever seen, man. I say he's been stuck on too many ships, but around too much oil and the gases that come from. So, but no, I loved it. I thought it was great, and I can't wait to see what you pulled from it, because, like I said, I think it's a great show, and I'm hoping. And I spoke to Walt and the band and everything. This is something that they all know by heart by now, and to make it a yearly kind of get together, at the Landis, just like it was on CBS, throughout the 70s, every November, right around Thanksgiving holiday, it was something that was on that was televised on CBS, and that kind of went away. You know, they did that. They did Willy Wonka. You know, there was a couple things that were like those staples of the holidays, and then of course all the Christmas movies came after that. But those were the two big, you know, movies that were around the Thanksgiving holiday that I remember anyway. So, what'd you pull?
I got a bunch. I'll just get right into it.
Go for it. And I'm gonna try my headphones again when you do that.
Yeah, here's a little brain damage doing brain damage.
Brain damage doing brain damage.
Yes.
I can't hear anything.
Oh, jeez.
So you want to keep playing while I play with these? I know. I just tried to. Oh, there it is. Sound settings. I don't know, man.
It doesn't turn your volume down or something when you plug them in, does it? Because it does on my phone, so it remembers what your last one
How's
was.
that?
I mean, can you hear me?
Nope. Still can't hear you.
Hello. Is there anybody?
Yeah, I
out
have no idea,
there?
man.
All
I
right,
should
we'll
have
do
done this
another
prior
one
to
then.
the show. But anyway, I'm going to put these away. And we're just going to play the old way for tonight. So,
Yes.
all right.
So,
As long as my echo is not too bad, is it?
yeah, there it is now. I feel like it got turned back up.
What did?
Your volume somehow.
No, I didn't turn it back up.
Because it was not echoing for a while. Now it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm screwing around with it too. I don't know. I just don't understand why things can't work anymore. You know what I need is the headphones that go into this.
Yeah, I was going to just ask if you got any.
Well, I might have a set. Show the next video. I'm going to see if I have headphones over here.
All right, we'll do a little.
I shall return briefly. Hey, hold on.
There he is.
Yeah, but I got to figure out how to turn them on now.
Ah, gotcha. Well, I will play another one so that way you can.
You do that while I'm trying to
sort it
figure out my life here.
Here we go. Softly spoken magic spell. As it goes through the little crystal ball.
I hate my life right now. So
still didn't get it.
No, not this. It's just I don't know. Why? I need to get good headphones. These are like cheesy ones.
Is it coming through there at least?
How's that?
Oh boy. I mean, hey, you sound fine.
I mean, I can barely hear you, but
turn the that little knob up at the bottom there.
It's all the way up. It is literally at its highest point in time. Let me try and switch these things around.
Oh geez. I got a couple more.
Don't know, Steven. One of those days.
This is, let's see, the end of the actual movie with them coming out of the Great Gig in the Sky. So
yeah, I'm done with this.
It's just Walt and Deb hanging on. So here we go. Here's a little bit of that.
thank you so much.
Some thunderous applause.
Yes. Yeah.
You there?
I don't know if I can hear you or not.
Oh, great.
You talk. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I didn't even smoke anything.
Yeah, well, he's lingering in the back corner there. I see him.
Yeah.
But let's see. I'll do one of the non-movie, just to you can actually see the band in these ones. So we'll do this one here, and let's do a little Comfortably Numb. Here we
You
go.
sound like you're in like a boxcar of a train going down the road. So
Oh, that's good. That's what we want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might just have to go to speakers there.
yeah, I might have to do that. All right. Sorry about that, guys.
It's working well enough. But this is a little Comfortably Numb. Here we go. Oh, yes. Quite the ending. Oh. You there?
All right. I got you now. Yep. I was trying to play with something else, see if that would help, but we are stuck with speakers tonight. So I'm just gonna roll with it, let it live.
Perfect.
At least I can hear you. So
Yes. There we go. Let's bring in this man waving some sort of.
I'm going to blame it on solar flares. So
You can blame it on this guy right here.
Hi, guys.
I can't hear him either. Thank God.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me, Steve?
I can.
No. Say
Okay.
no.
No, this will go back and forth for 10 hours. Dude.
I apologize for texting both of you at 7 a.m. telling you your website was crashed
Texting and Facebook messaging.
because I care
Solar flares,
and I
man.
watch this shit.
He does. He does. Steve knew that Cloudflare was down before anybody.
I was trying to count dots.
We should put you in touch with Elon Musk so you can tell him when things are going down.
He saw internal server error and said, "That's internal. I get him. Get him at 7
That's
a.m."
right. It worked all the way up to pick seats.
There's
Or
no
buy
such thing
tickets.
as internal servers anymore. They're all cloud hosted. So
Really?
either Amazon goes down, Cloudflare goes down, or there's one other. I don't remember what the hell it is, but they basically each have a third of the internet. So take your pick.
Yeah, that Pink Floyd show was great. I posted a picture of me at a photo I took with the two girls out back. Whatever their names.
Deb and
they're
Deb.
both named
Deb and Deb are fantastic. I really thought it was some heavy lifting singing that song 3 times. And all their backups were freaking beautiful. I'm a huge Pink Floyd head. I don't know why.
I just
Echoing. You got to turn it down. Oh,
yeah.
God.
Now he's echoing. Jesus Christmas, man. What the hell was that?
Okay. Sorry.
You don't need to be an
Okay.
asshole about
Sorry. That's my wife sitting next to me. You can bring her on too.
it. The volume is completely off.
That's how we can hear you if you want.
Well, let's real quick because we got guys waiting for this weekend show. Let's plug. I bring you on the plug your show, baby. Let's do it.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the Pink Floyd folks for letting me do a little stage announcements and my Elvis impression, which was great, and my great joke that I told that Christy didn't like. But anyway, thank you so much for having me out there. It was such a great time, and that's definitely something I will see them every year they come out there. But we're here to talk about the Prince of Darkness. And what we're going to do, am I off? I'm on. And we're December 5th, Jim Florentine will be hosting the Land of Oz and Sabbath Superstars, giving you full service. All the Ozzy songs are important. A-sides, B-sides, C-sides, everything. Not Jim Norton, Jim Florentine. Oops. Wrong knucklehead.
Wrong knucklehead.
So I'm having this issue hearing this evening, and I think it's got something to do with the same internet issues. And then I was looking over, and Christy looked like she was sitting on her side with her tail in the air, and that looked a little weird. So now it's like, and I'm on nothing. I'm on nothing but Mike and Ike's and water, man. It's just it's like
the cat ran past.
I smoked a Beatles joint. It's got the album cover on it. Isn't that cool?
Oh my God, I can't. My life is never going to be the same.
Anyway, I would like to thank the 6 people that just bought tickets in the middle just now to the Land of Oz show. I cannot wait.
That's real quick because so what we're doing with all the shows, including this weekend show with Aneurysm and the Jagged Little Thrill, is we're giving away a little something at each show now in the beginning of the show. And what we're doing with it this year is you got to join our mailing list because it helps us expand our mailing list. But also, if you give $10 or a toy, for every toy or every increment of $10 you give, you get your name thrown into the bin again. And I know I sent them to you, Steve. I don't know if you put them on your thing or not. But for your Ozzy show, we're giving away the Ozzy Osbourne Memories of Memoirs of a Madman album. It's the vinyl, the 2-record set. That you're going to get that. It's brand new. You can listen to it, love it, or give it away for Christmas. And also the book Last Rites by Ozzy Osbourne. So if you come in and you fill out a thing to get on our mailing list, we're going to give you the winner gets to take it home that night. You get to take that album home, and you get to take the book home. And then, like I said, if you bring a toy, for every toy you get another entry into the win, or you can just give $10. And for every increment of $10, you get another entry into win that album. And I thought, the memoirs and the Last Rites were kind of fitting for Ozzy. So,
hey Ray, can I add to that giveaway?
Yes, absolutely can add to it. Of course, yeah.
Throw in a Sabbath Superstar shirt and a Land of Oz shirt and a sticker for each.
Well, do that, and let's throw $100 in too.
Well, that's coming out of your pocket, maybe.
If it sells out, maybe.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. There you go. If it's a sellout, we're going to throw $100 in from Steve's pocket. That's good, Steve. That is.
I was gonna say mine. Lord, finding lint, baby.
That is hilarious.
No. Seeing Jesus, but if we can get 5 or 6, I'll be thrilled. I really enjoy your place filled up. It looks great filled. It needs to be filled all the weeks. There's no more excuses. You guys know where it is for Pink Floyd, Land of Oz, Octane. This place does not move, and it's great every weekend. Get off your asses. Harry, get off your butts. Get off the couch. Get to the Landis.
The idea behind the giveaways, too, is the simple fact that, it gives people something to go home with, from the bands after seeing, a tribute act, something from the real band, to take home as a memoir. But it also, it helps us build that list, because the thing is, we have a decent mailing list, but on that mailing list is everybody that loves everything from ABBA to God knows what else. So we're trying to get more people that are focused on like the Nirvana bands that we have coming this week, stuff like that. So they're on the list, and we know they're on the list, so they're getting the emails as well. So we just want to kind of make sure, and this is a way to give something nice away, and also, this time of year help the kids too. So we pulled in like $1,000. We pulled in $1,000 for Toys for Tots this week. So
nice.
That's and we don't give the money to them. We go shopping, so we'll fill the truck with toys. So from Walmart or whoever gives us the discount.
Beautiful thing.
Melissa Schill was awesome at her Alanis Morrissette, and they're doing an Unplugged, and their opening is the MTV Unplugged, Big Daddy of them all, the Nirvana Unplugged.
Yeah.
So these guys are doing an Unplugged Nirvana on Friday, and then a plugged in, Nirvana the next night, because it would be crazy just to do the same exact show 2 nights in a row. So it's actually a different show. So don't be afraid to see both people.
That's the idea. It's a weekend of grunge, celebrating the Unplugged album, which the Nirvana Unplugged album is probably the best of all the Unplugged albums that were released. Some people say probably one of the best live albums ever made. To be honest with you, they did such a good job with it. So.
Or Alice in Chains, which you do have that playing the next night too. So their acoustic was pretty phenomenal also.
Yeah. No, they all did. That was the place to be. If you were somebody, if you got called on MTV's Unplugged, you were the band. That was the big thing. That was like getting on the Tonight Show, in the 90s. So
someone needed to do an intervention for LL Cool J, because the white antiperspirant bits under his black guy armpits was off-putting. But that's why you got to have handlers. Like Christy would never let me go out there with frickin' deodorant balls. Oh my word! God help us all.
All right. Well, we're going to move forward. We got to get on to Steve. Were you done showing your Oz stuff?
Yeah, Steve.
Not you, the other Steve.
This Steve? What
Now
Steve?
I can't hear Steve. What is going on?
Steve?
Be quiet for a second. You're right,
Steve,
Ray. I can't.
it says your mic's muted. There you go.
There you go.
I've been trying for 5 minutes now to get.
Did you finish showing your Oz videos?
Yeah. I had like 10 of them, so we can.
Did you have any of the? I didn't see any of the encore stuff. I was still monkeying with my damn earphones. So.
Oh yeah, I mean I can play another one if you want.
Yeah, because it's almost that 7:30 mark, and I'd like to bring our Aneurysm guys on. Yeah. And talk a little bit about this weekend show, because I'm excited. I really love these guys. Ken and these guys are really good people, and they're great musicians. We've seen that already, so I'm excited for this.
Hell yes.
Everyone buy tickets. It's a great place.
Yes, December 5th, the Land of Oz with Sabbath Super Czars. There we go.
With the guy from Crank Yankers.
Yes.
The guy from
Special Ed. That metal show.
He's going to yank his crank right before the show. It's going to be great.
Yes. But thank you guys. Much appreciated.
I had to pay Jim Florentine. Buy tickets. He's got a guarantee. I don't. Let's go, people.
The friends and family.
We love you all. Miss K's Cupcakes. Bye now.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, thank you, Christy. Those were delicious. We lost her. It's all good.
They're still there. They heard it.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
Yes. Yes, but yes, that is I don't know. I've got this one. Yeah, we can do a little set the controls for the Heart of the Sun.
Let's do that, and then let's cut over to our boys, and let's start talking about this week, man.
Heck yeah!
This whole show beginning got screwed up with these damn headphones of mine. I can't hear for crap. It's ridiculous. Never had that problem before.
Here we go.
That was a cool ending, man. That was sweet. That was really sweet. And if Ozzy stays on, maybe we can bring him back on later. See and talk to him. I see him down there still. If he stays on, we'll bring him back on when we get a chance here.
He looks unbothered.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'd love to bring on these other and talk about a little bit of this MTV Unplugged era, because I think it's gonna be a fun show, and I'm excited about it, to be honest with you. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So.
We've got them both on. So how do you want to do it?
Oh, nice. Well, I think Aneurysm's been hanging around down there. Let's bring them in, and then we'll bring Jagged Little Thrill in after.
Sweet. Here we go.
So we'll talk a little one, and then discuss it all at one time.
Yeah, you know what? We'll just let's just bring on the Aneurysm guys, because I have the Alanis promo. I don't really. It was.
Okay.
With them. So, but we'll bring them on, and then I can play it to bring in Jagged Little Thrill. So here we go.
Hey,
Yo, guy. Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Good.
Oh, man, good to see you guys again, man. Good to see you. I'm excited about this show, man. I don't know. I wanted to have a really cool grunge weekend, and I really wanted to have this Unplugged show up front and to kind of lead the way, because I think it's one of those. I feel like that Seattle sound when Alice in Chains and Nirvana and everybody started coming in and Soundgarden recording, these Unplugged shows. They became something a little bit bigger, than everything else. And the funny thing about it is, as that was dying out, Alanis Morrissette kind of came in and she recorded hers, and that was like that was almost a changeover. So I thought the two kind of melded very well, and I thought it was a lot of fun. But
yeah, we're excited to see her show.
yeah, well, and I don't know if you know a lot. I wanted to discuss a little bit, especially Aneurysm, because with Nirvana, it was just so you know. So that's one of the things we have too. We're giving away people that sign up. We have the actual vinyl of the Nirvana Unplugged album. So anybody who signs up for our mailing list or gives Toys for Tots or whatever this weekend, you'll be in the running to win that, along with a we don't have the Alanis Morrissette Unplugged album, but we do have a live album of hers on vinyl that we'll be giving away as well. Yeah, the live at Montrex. So in 2012, that's a 2012 album. I didn't realize that was. I thought that was older than that. That's actually cool. So, but so we'll be giving those away for people to sign up. But the thing about the Nirvana acoustic album is it was touted as being the best one ever recorded of all the Unplugged albums, because some of the bands like Alice in Chains and stuff, they didn't even do an album for their show. They just did the show,
Right.
So but it was an album that it was released literally about a week after Kurt Cobain took his life. So and it went straight to number one on the Billboard charts, and it was actually, like I said, it's revered as probably one of the best live albums ever made at this point. And I thought that was kind of I thought it was kind of fitting because it was released exactly. I'm trying to look at the date. It's today's date, 32 years ago, on the 18th of November. So is when I'm trying to remember where. Here it is. Yeah. So it was taped. Oh, it was taped. I'm sorry, not released. It was taped November 18th, 1993, exactly 32 years ago today, which is kind of neat. Yeah. But again, to me, it was always. What was that?
Doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
No, doesn't it? It seems like these seem like these records were just out and they were just doing this kind of thing not long ago, and and being something that Kurt never actually saw come to fruition, I guess, and it was taped. It was taped one night in Sony Music Studios in New York. They said that Kurt was sick, he was moody, he was on heroin, and instead of becoming the disaster that everyone thought it was going to be, it ended up being one of the best recorded records of all time. Because they were really afraid going in that it was just going to be a mess. He was so messed up that night, and they really didn't. They really and they only played. They played a lot of covers on that too. It wasn't even a lot of, and people were.
Surprising, you get that opportunity, and
Yep.
you think they would be playing all their material, but that was
No, they played like 2 or 3 Meat Puppet songs. They played, of course,
Really?
Bowie doing "The Man Who Sold the World" is probably one of my favorite of all time. And I can't remember what's the one song. What was the I had it written down here because I write little notes, I don't forget. Was the one from what was that song?
there's the Vaseline's cover. Jesus Doesn't Want to.
That's right. They did. I forgot they did the Vaseline cover too. That's right. Dude, they did so many. But there was here's a quote. So Kurt said, jokingly, he said, being as it is, that when he watched it back, he said, with all the lilies and candles, it reminded him of a funeral. So it's you think about that, and in hindsight, you're like, that's pretty crazy when you think about that. But it's I don't know. It was one of those albums that I really liked. They said here's a fact for you. His sweater from the show sold at auction in 2019 for $334,000.
Yes, I saw that.
That's insane, man. Yeah. So it debuted #1 Billboard, won Germany's best album, alternative album. Yeah, it's one of those albums, man, that I always loved, and I'm glad that we're going to do an acoustic night of Nirvana. I wanted to do this Grunge Weekend thing for a while, and after we saw your band play before, we realized, man, you guys are the perfect people to do this, man. You bring the Nirvana very well. Let's just put it that way, and I love that about you guys.
Forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun night. It really is. And I think what we'll do is we'll bring.
We've been having so much fun even just getting ready for this because it's great material.
It is, and you know what's funny about it, especially speaking of the Nirvana side, it was one of those times when you brought this kind of music into this type of environment. I mean, this music would, as we knew it, when you listen to like Nevermind and stuff, it wasn't written for this type of acoustic, but the way they put it together and the way it happened, it worked. And it was, like I said, it was either going to be great or it was going to fail. And either this music was going to show that it was made, for that, with heavy guitars and, and heavy drums, or lyrically and melodically, it could be brought into the realm of acoustic. And I think they proved it. I think Alice in Chains proved it. I think Soundgarden proved it. And I think of everyone, Nirvana proved it more than anyone with this album.
And I think all on the rights, there was a lot of amazing vocalists. And anytime you get to play acoustic, like it just allows you, I love doing acoustic shows for any artist. I mean, just because it kind of just gives you freedom. And I think that freedom allows you to just really, belt it out, have a good time. And all of those acoustic shows, you really saw all of the vocalists just really reaching down and pulling something extra out for every, more feeling, more, different interpretations. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. Let's, Steve, you want to bring Jagged Little Thrill guys on?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Or do you want to show their promo real quick for this? Or you're the producer. What do you want to do?
Yeah, we can do that. I'll show the promo. We can bring them in.
Just stick around, guys. We'll all talk together here for a second.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Let's see. Here we go. Nice. Hey guys, welcome.
Hey guys.
How are you?
I don't know if we're at the right. Can we get everybody in?
Yeah. How's it going, everyone? It's good to see you guys, man. Good to see you guys.
There you go.
Hey, happy to see you again.
Yes, we were just talking to the guys from Aneurysm Canada. I'm sorry, what was it?
Zach.
It's Jack, right?
Zach with a Z.
Oh, Zach, because I can't hear tonight, man. I don't have my headphones working. So welcome, Zach. Meant to say hi to you too over there, brother. But I got talking to Ken. But yeah, we were talking about this era of acoustic music and how Alanis came in with her album and hers was taped in in '99, and what happened it was like it brought an end to that grunge sound that was very popular for the MTV Unplugged era, and brought in this new sound of Alanis, and it kind of it went on from there. And her album was another one that, to me, that probably the top. I know everyone says, the Nirvana. Nirvana's album was different, because it was Nirvana. It is what it is. And when they recorded that, it was supposed to be a failure, a mess, a garbage album. And somehow Kurt Cobain, with all his drug abuse and everything he was going through at the time, made it work, which is tough. But then Alanis comes in, and she does her thing with her acoustic set, which, by the way, if she doesn't play she's the only person to ever do an MTV Unplugged without an acoustic guitar in her hand the whole time. So the only one to actually ever do the Unplugged, and also her guitar. I can't remember his name. It's Nick something. Her guitar player at the time. He bought special guitars and did a lot of special stuff to make the album. More of a moody feel in an acoustic way. And I think that's what made her album so cool. was they brought the, they didn't really change it melodically, but they brought it down to like a more moody with like resonant guitars and stuff that they were using for the live show.
Oh yeah. No, we love the feel of it. They have, a lot of additional percussive elements, I think, and she also does play the flute and the harmonica.
Yes.
And we have Lisa joining us. I know she was on our last Unplugged show. There's Lisa.
Yes.
So she's going to provide some extra special percussion. And then we have Joey over here on keys.
How you doing, buddy?
Joining us. Got Chuck behind us on guitar, behind me. And then this is Joe Testa, who will be playing acoustic bass. And we've got Mr. Dave Romani. I think you've probably met him before.
Yes. How you doing, brother? Good to see you, buddy.
How are you?
He's the major drummer.
Maybe Chuck remembers. What was the guitar player's name? Nick something.
I'm not sure who.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either. But he was the one that played on that live on that show for it. I know his name was Nick, but I keep saying Lachey. But Nick Lachey was like he was one of the Backstreet Boys or something, wasn't he? Steve?
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah. He was buddies with Timberlake or something.
Yeah, but he did a lot of alternate tuning and resonance and stuff that made the album. It was because of him that they made the thing work a little bit better with the recording. And I thought it was kind of cool because again, when you listen to that record, which by the way, it was a very popular record, and it goes for a lot of money. The original printings of Alanis's Unplugged album. So it's nice.
Nick Lashley, by the way.
What was that, Ken?
Nick Lashley.
Lashley. That's it, Lashley. I said Lachey. See, I was close, man. It was a Backstreet Boy or a guitarist for Alanis. One or the other. But it is. Alanis, I'll tell you, another thing a lot of people don't know is, and I knew this because I knew her very well at the time. She was pregnant during the recording of that. And she came out not long after, and she had a miscarriage. Yeah, so when she recorded that show, she was actually pregnant at the time. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people don't know that, but she did. I'm not revealing that with her getting mad at me, but that was something she did come out and talk about publicly after, not long after. But it kind of it adds to me like a haunting subtext, to the that emotional delivery that she had during that show. When you really listen to that record, you know what I mean, and you think about what she was going through at that time. And what she went through afterwards, it's pretty powerful. There really is
a lot of joy because she was pregnant at the time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then for the album to come out and have that moody feel that it ended up being, produced. That when it was produced the way it was produced, it kind of, I don't know, became a little haunting, if you ask me. So
to add to that, I remember reading that Prince's Familiar, which is a song that's on that album that we will be performing, is one of her favorite and she feels most vocally challenging songs. I don't know when they quoted her saying that. And she dedicated it to all the fathers in the audience. So that's interesting to find out she was pregnant at the time.
Yeah, now you know why. And then she also, it was the only time she changed one of the lines in Uninvited she changed in that album too. And I can't remember what it was. I think I have it on my thing here. I had it somewhere in my notes. I had notes and I screwed them up trying to fix my headphones here, so it didn't work. But there's definitely some lines.
I had a little trip this weekend, and I picked something up. So
what's that? Oh, there you go. Hey, it's cold out. See that?
Yeah, I know. I was in Ottawa Friday and Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that 27 Club was the first club she ever played, but it was called Zephod Bibelbrox or something like that back then, and it's still there.
That comes. So the name of that bar comes from the book, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is where that character's introduced. Yeah, Zephod Bibelbrox. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I like I said, I know her very well and I know a lot about her. But that was they named that bar after the character in there. So, but
I knew that our bass player did that.
Yes, I'm a nerd.
Yeah, I was trying to look at the Oh, something, Ken, that I forgot too was Something in the Way which was recorded on that album, which came out on that album, but didn't make the TV show, is probably the most haunting version of that song. And if you watch the new Batman movie, it's like the theme of the entire movie. They keep playing that Kurt Cobain, something in the way, like something, and it's like you're like, oh man, it's like it works with the darkness of the film. But I had forgotten about that too. That didn't make that didn't make the cut for the TV show, but it made the cut for the album. Yeah.
It'll make the cut on Friday.
What's that?
It'll make the cut Friday night.
Yeah, I can't look, man. That's another one. If you get a chance before the show, go watch the new Batman movie, and watch it just with nothing else to take it, and just listen to that song as it plays while you're watching the film, and it is just like the perfect song for that, because that's a movie that just there's no joy in that film at all. Not in a second of that film is there any joy. And that song just it rides the whole movie. You'll hear it just rides the whole movie. It's not like they play it once or twice. They just keep bringing it back over and over again, which is kind of cool. Again, these acoustic sets were just like a totally different world, for both of these bands. And like I said, I feel like, Atlantis bookended, the end of that grunge era with her album, because everyone had done. Soundgarden had done it, Alice in Chains had done it, of course, Nirvana really killed it. And then she came in when all that was kind of done. And you were you knew you were somebody if MTV called you and said, hey, we want you to do an Unplugged album. I mean, everyone was doing them. Kiss. I had somewhere I had a list too. There was like a lot of like Peter.
Pearl Jam. Did Pearl Jam do one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
LL Cool J.
Eric Clapton.
Eric Clapton did one. Yep, Eric Clapton's was a really big hit too. I like the Kiss one too, to be honest with you. I thought Kiss did a good job, especially during Beth. They did Beth, and it was like killer, man. It's like it's made to be an acoustic song, but they changed the melody up a little, and it was really, really good. Yeah, I don't know where I had a list of some of the other ones, but like I said, I messed everything up while I was going through stuff here. But it was one of those things where if you were somebody, you definitely were you were somebody if MTV called you. And now you're, if you're not 12 and pregnant, MTV doesn't call you. So that's just welcome to MTV. They don't want to talk to you anymore. So, which is why they're going away. So, but it has been 35 years. Again, we said today is actually November 18th is 32 years to the day of the taping of the Nirvana Unplugged album, which was like I said, it was 7 months after its release that Kurt Cobain took his life. And again, for it's a sad thing. And, there's a lot of people out there that deal with, mental issues and things of that nature. And I think, what's that hotline? I think we looked it up, Steve, 611, I believe. Yeah, there it is. Or 988. I think 611 might be for the soldiers. But for anyone out there, a suicide prevention lifeline, dial 988 and talk to somebody, man. Because as we know, there's a lot that went around, with this album came out, right at that time. Kurt never really got to see it or know its popularity and know that the sessions worked and stuff. And, and there's a lot of stuff out there. I mean, I don't know. He was found 3 days after the fact. It's just, there's a lot of, people that have other ideas of what happened to Kurt, but
it was a really long shotgun.
Yeah, Steve is right.
I'm the biggest truther in this one here.
Wasn't it a Remington M11?
It's something, but it's huge,
that's a long shotgun. That's a bird shotgun.
He would have had to use like his pinky toe.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
Yeah,
seems a little tough.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff that people still say about that, and you got to wonder, But I said, but there's I thought it was odd when I was reading about it. I didn't know that there was a significance in his death in this album, and I knew that Atlantis had lost a baby during right after her album. So it's like it's kind of like there's this this bit of death that surrounds both of these records too, which is kind of eerie when you think about it, especially in the fact that how eerie some of the tracks are on these records, because again they're low and slow, and they're And especially Alanis. Like I said, you never hear her sounding like that. The music didn't sound like that normally. So
there's a song too called "Joining You" that we're going to perform that is sort of to me has always represented a song of how to point out joy and when people are feeling desperate and feeling really low. And in fact, joining you in that lyric, she said, if we were our identity, if we were our culture, if we were our denials, I'd be joining you. Like we aren't one thing,
Yeah.
And if we focus on just the negative, we could all feel really depressed. And so I've always found that song to be really meaningful.
I know exactly what you're talking about too, and I think you're 100% hit that on the head. I think you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And I was trying to see where, because I had that one little thing. Oh, there it is. In Uninvited, she added the line, "I'm flattered by your fascination with me," which wasn't on the studio version of the album exactly. So she changed that one line. And I don't know. And it, again, I think it was because, like you said, she had something going on with her at the time, where, again, the juxtaposition between these two albums is amazing, because you have one guy who was cracked out on heroin in a horrible mood. They thought it was going to be the worst album ever made. You got on the other end, the book ending this bit of music history is this beautiful girl who's got, at the time, one of the biggest selling albums for a female at the time, doing this acoustic version of it, and only doing a few songs. Kurt only did a few songs off his album where, she really gave you all her music, and kind of put herself out there and put her music out there in a way that a lot of artists, probably wouldn't have. And again, she was, pregnant and joyful inside. So it's weird that, the juxtaposition, and then losing her child after that. It's kind of, it's I don't know. It hits me when I think about it. I don't know if that makes sense, but.
Right.
Exactly.
There's also the tie-in of, Taylor Hawkins, who was Alanis' drummer.
Yes.
And with the Foo Fighters. And ending up with Dave Grohl of Nirvana. Like there's a tie-in between the two bands even, so.
And the last time I saw Taylor with her was in Philadelphia. It was I forget where we were. It was one of the littler, smaller spots. It was her, and it was. I'm trying to think. It was her and somebody opened up for her, and it was that other Canadian guy. I can't think of his name right now. Steve, you would probably know him, man. He was a Canadian, had a bongo player in the band. I can't think of his name, but he was really good. He opened up for it. What is it?
I don't know. I just said A.
Yeah. No, I wish I could remember his name, because he was really. After I saw him, I had met him backstage there, and I never heard him. I thought he was really good, and then all of a sudden, like, one of his records became really popular on the radio. I can't think of his name right now, but he had this like Hawaiian bongo player in the band. And he was really good. I can't think of his name, but he was opening. He was touring with Landis, and she was doing an acoustic, a little bit of an acoustic show here and there. But she was a lot of fun. But Nirvana, again, like I said, to have these two bands be the first unplugged bands that we've done this for, we're pushing really hard this week for sales. We ask you guys if you could really, just keep sharing and sharing and sharing on your social media, because we're finding social media is more the way now than anything, to get people. So, and I don't know if Michelle, if you heard, we're giving away I don't have the Atlantis. Steve has the copy of it, but I do have this one with me, which is a Nirvana Unplugged album. The Alanis Morrissette album is not available easily, so we got one of her other live albums from 2012. So you get a live album, and what we do with those is, if you come in and you sign up for our mailing list, well, it's basically our email list. So you can find out the next time Alanis and Jagged Little Thrill are in the house, or Aneurysm or Grunge are in the house. You'll know, because you signed up for that. And also, if you give a toy, remember, it's Toys for Tots. So if you guys want to bring a toy in yourselves from the bands for the kids, and also for every toy or $10 that someone adds to the pot, they get another ticket into the drawing of that, and we'll give that away at the end of the show. So somebody will walk away with 2 vinyl albums. 2 live vinyl albums, 1 acoustic, of course, and then, unfortunately, we couldn't find an acoustic Alanis Morrissette. Not in time. We couldn't get it in time. Let's just say that. So it's unfortunate. Awesome. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to the show, man. Anything you guys, real quick, Melissa? Let me start with you, real quick, hon. So preparing for this, anything that you learned new about Alanis or understand in a different way, or how was it like preparing for an acoustic show versus the regular show you do?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously we're tweaking a little bit, you know, like you said, things are a little bit slower. I absolutely love it. And this was your concept. So I just want to give you credit for that. I feel like there are songs like these are I don't want to give away our whole set list, but there are a few songs that we've not covered before. So it'll be our first time playing them live and then unplugged. And one of them that, you know, people that come to the show will hear, is sort of a stream of consciousness type of song. So it's not as musical. It's more, you know, all the thoughts that run through our heads. And it's pretty interesting, like with your new piece of information. And like, to me, that wouldn't really fit into an electric show.
No.
So for me, this is an awesome opportunity. And we've always wanted to do this. We just didn't yet. So it's it's like our debut with the Unplugged, and we continue to, we plan to continue to do that. So for me, it's a blast, and we're going to rehearse when we're done here again. So
is there a favorite on that record? Is there a favorite song? I have a favorite. I'm going to tell you what it is, and you probably never guess. On that record, it is actually she asked Sting if she could do King of Pain, and he said yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. That was actually at her request. She requested because Sting is very anal about people using his music and stuff. He's one of those people. But when he found out it was her that wanted to do it, he was like, hell yeah, go for it, girlfriend. And I thought she killed it. I thought it was probably one of my favorite things that she did on the record. Yeah.
Yeah. I love them all. I would say I really love the version of You Ought to Know, actually.
Yep.
That.
I'm looking at of course I liked Uninvited on it as well, but I think my favorite on there was probably Head Over Feet if it was her actual of her songs, because it just gave you a different feel. And I love the record. It's such a great record, and I would tell people coming to the show, give it a listen on the way in, or at some point, so you kind of get a feel for what you're going at, because we usually don't take this music down like this, but I think MTV, for a while there, they really were doing a good thing, and I thought it was really cool. So this is our first one, and we're gonna do another one. We already have bands asking if they can do the next Unplugged. So we have a Kiss band that wants to do it. I have a Soundgarden band. I have an Alice in Chains. A lot of guys are wanting to do. Alice in Chains band wants to do it too. They want to do it with a Cornell band, so we might do that. So for next year, I'm thinking like once like in the I guess the January, February, March we'll do one. Then maybe at the end of next year we'll do another one. But you guys are kicking it off for us. It's 35 years of MTV Unplugged, so it's kind of cool. So Ken, I want to ask you the same question real quick, and that would be learning this, doing it acoustic, and going through it with you and Zach and the band, and how did you how do you feel, or anything that you discovered along the way?
Well, one of the things I found out was he intentionally sang some of the stuff in higher keys to strain himself a little bit.
Yeah.
To the end of Where Did You Sleep Last Night? That is him giving everything he absolutely has to hit that, and you wouldn't have got the same result if he hadn't done that.
No. And think about how he did. Maybe what you should do tonight, and I hate to promote it, but if you guys are rehearsing anymore, maybe go do a whole shitload of heroin and yeah. See how it works out for you.
It's so haunting in that video at the very end there, the end of the song, when he takes that last deep breath before he finishes the last line, he just all of a sudden snaps up, and you just see those blue eyes just suddenly just snap up and stare at you. It's haunting as can be, especially considering he took his life not long after.
No, I could not agree with you anymore. Yep.
I've watched it 1,000 times. And it always kind of shakes you to the core when you see it. It's God.
Yeah, and then what I thought was crazy too is when you go back and watch him on it, is how he how dirty and greasy he looked. Like even the sweater, like he just looked like he just like rolled out of the gutter, and they said, "Hey, by the way, we got a show you got to do. Sit in this chair and start singing."
Not very different than when Lane Staley was out for Alice in Chains. So,
yeah.
They both kind of looked, a little bit.
Well, Lane Staley, as we know, is another one. You know, it wasn't just the heroin; it was the simple fact that he was. It wasn't like when you look at his death and you look at everything that he went through. He was a denier. Even his own sister. I mean, that's why his bass player stopped speaking with him for years, because he denied his sister's heroin addiction. So, I mean, that was Seattle at the time, and you got to remember these bands were going through a whole different world, and in the same right, Alanis was in that in a way. She was being called ugly. She was being called things in the media. People were saying things about her, dragging her name through the mud a little bit. So, she wasn't, shooting heroin and stuff, but she was going through, her own sort of, demons at the time, that the industry kind of brings about, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
She likes wine. That's if anything, she was chugging wine. So.
Good to know.
Yes, I do.
Good to know.
Joey's got wine here tonight, so thank you for the.
Yes.
Yes.
I think there was another question I wanted to ask you, but I can't. Like I said, I messed my notes up here trying to get my headphones working. I got everything mixed up, but no, that's it. Well, look, is there anything else you want to give us and tell people to about coming out to see the show?
Well, Chuck was saying on the other side of Melissa that he hears the thoughts in his head, but he doesn't listen to them. I think he just acts on them.
It's true.
So that's a cue to one of the songs that we said earlier. I'm rambling now. Anybody have anything to say?
Well, we're excited that Lisa's going to be part of it. So we're going to have that
I'm so
percussive
happy.
element. She brought all her toys here tonight.
Popping in on this.
Name some of the instruments that you're going to be playing, Lisa.
Oh,
If
the usual. A cool set of chimes, thanks to Joey over here. Really cool set of chimes.
Toys.
Oh, look at we're in his studio now.
So we got. There's all we got toys.
Right?
Oh, nice. All the acoustic toys.
Yeah, bongos.
Keyboards, drums, all kinds.
I'll tell you another fact about these records too that you might not know is that again Kurt Cobain did it all in one take because he kind of had to do it because they weren't getting his ass back. But Alanis is the only other person that has recorded one of these shows and records in one take, in one night. Everyone else has done it over a certain amount of nights, and she was the only other person that did it in a one take, one night session. So,
Wow.
it's pretty cool to know. Yep, pretty cool to know. All right, guys. Well, look, man, I am looking forward to seeing you guys at Load In. It's going to be, like I said, a really good, simple show. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think Steve's got some ideas how he's going to light it and smoke it up and make it look really cool and bring that acoustic feel. And I'm excited because this is more of a, we don't do all the flashy, crazy lights and stuff, So, Steve's going to create a nice mood for you guys. And I think it's going to be a really fun time. And I think people should come out and see it because, it's different. You don't see these bands this way unless, again, you buy that record or go watch these old videos of them recording it back in the day. Now I know Alanis has done, an acoustic tour here and there. She's gone out on it because, and she would tell you herself, it was because of the MTV Unplugged that she decided to do it because she got so much, great that, it was definitely an album. It didn't hit the heights of the Nirvana album on the billboards, but people loved it. And because it brought a whole new feel to her music that you didn't get. Where with Nirvana, it was something you were expecting, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's so much connection with her for a lot of things,
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, guys. Well, again, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Absolute Vodka. I keep forgetting our sponsor all the time. They get pissed at the Absolute Vodka live at the Landis podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. with our additional sponsors, the wonderful Michael Kelly Guitar Company, michaelkellyguitars.com. And, of course, I'm wearing the hat tonight, so they stay happy with us. The feelcalm.com. Use the promo code TheLandis for 25% off your first purchase, feelcalm.com. All right, guys, thank you again for coming on. And we will see you this. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great show. I can't wait.
It's going to be awesome.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Yeah.
All
See
right,
you.
bye-bye. Yeah, Steve, I think you and I are two of those people. I think about it. It's just different for me. I think, when I think of like a lot of this stuff that goes on, I had friends that committed suicide, military buddies and stuff. So it kind of hits home for me sometimes. But the shotgun, not only on the shotgun with Kurt Cobain, I think that the craziest thing with his death was the fact that there were no prints on the shotgun or the shotgun shells.
Exactly.
Yeah.
None of them. He had a lethal dose of heroin in his system and apparently blew his head off.
They claim it was 3 times the dose that would have killed anyone else, and that he. But and not even that. I mean, I could see. I mean, if you're somebody who does it as much as he does it or did it, maybe you could get by. Maybe it didn't hit you like it did other people. But the fact that there was no prints, come on, man. And then they claim, well, when you're in that situation, the sweat and the oils. I'm like, that's what makes the fingerprints.
Exactly.
No fingerprints on the gun. No fingerprints,
that,
but not even on the shells when he loaded it.
Yeah.
Who loaded it?
Well, there's that whole documentary on it, and basically that investigation was like done in a day. And they said,
they did it. They opened it up again. They did it 3 times altogether. Yeah.
Yeah. But the original one, I mean, it was like no pictures were taken. It was just like nothing ever happened. It's the most high profile guy that's ever killed himself, and we're just. We took a couple pictures. Here we are. We're done. This is what he did. And it's like,
and I think
so.
that the craziness is like when they read his what's her name? The hell was his wife's name?
Courtney Love.
Yeah, Courtney read his letter, like his part of his suicide note, and they said it. They said it read more like a hey, I'm quitting music as opposed to killing myself. The fact that it's Kurt Cobain, he's been missing for 3 days. You had time to hire an investigator to find him. You didn't need the police. You hired a fucking private investigator, and dude was upstairs in your garden or your greenhouse. You know what I mean? It's there's a lot of bullshit around it for me too. But and then at the end when he said it's better to burn out than fade away, of course. At the end of his thing, so it's I don't know, man. Quoting Neil Young, I don't know. Like I said, I'm with you on a lot of things. For me, the biggest thing for me personally was if I was going to help somebody commit suicide, I would probably wipe my fingerprints off of the gun and the shells as well to make sure that there was no trace of my help. And again, like you said, no photos. Apparently, his ID, he left his photo ID next to the note, so people that doesn't make any sense. Like, so people know who I am. I'm going to leave my ID here. Who in a suicidal heroin overdose situation is going to go? Oh wait, I might blow my head off. They got to know it's me. I'm going to leave my ID here.
That's what I mean, man. I don't know. That documentary really. It was one of those things that obviously that was when I was like a kid, a very young kid. So it's like, you knew it was like a big deal because everybody was like, holy shit, Kurt Cobain killed himself, and then it's like, you go all these years, growing up, never thinking about it. And then Netflix comes along and you see a little documentary about it and you watch it and you're like, he definitely did not do this. Again, I mean, it's not like he's 6'7" and his legs are, able to reach around to get that far down there. I don't know.
For me, there's a lot of other questions, and again, one of the biggest things is when you have such a high profile person that was number one missing, reported missing, and nobody checked the entire house. Number one, a private security guy was hired to find him. That found him upstairs, not the police, not nobody, some private guy. And then the simple fact that there's no fingerprints or anything. Nobody came in and took photographs of the death of a high profile guy. And then you hear that, oh, well, he was found with the shotgun across his chest. Well, I don't know. The way you would have had to hold that, I don't think it would land on your chest.
Again, with his toes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just none of it lines
Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make
you know,
sense.
and again, to have that much, whether or not that affects you or not, and to have motor skills to be able to do that.
Well, they were also in
line
the
up.
midst. He was also in the midst of a divorce where somebody in the prenups wasn't going to be getting a lot of money, and then out of nowhere, after the death, ended up with a big top selling album. So it says a lot for a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
I'm sure you know insurance or something of that sort. And I don't know. It's just the her whole demeanor after all of that. It's just like whenever you hear anybody talk to her about Kurt Cobain, it's like there's nothing going on in her head when she's talking about it, and it's like
I don't think there was anything going on in her head from day one.
Yeah, not really all that much. But you know, it's just it's crazy to see it and then be like, look at how she's talking about him right now. Like it's like he never existed. Like the way that she talks, it's like, wait, you know, Kurt. You know, she can't like recall anything about him, and it's like that kind of stuff happens. You know, after like traumatic events happen.
Yeah, no, I and as I said, I agree with you. But like I said, they and the 3 times they opened it up, they came to the same conclusion. But again, for me, the biggest thing of anything is no prints on the gun. Oh, because he was sweating and real oily. Yeah, that's literally what would leave prints. And then not only that, somebody had to load it. There was no prints on the actual shells either. So.
And I think like on his little like drug kit that he had or something, it was another place that was like completely void of prints. So you're telling me he's got a 3 times the lethal dose of heroin in his system. Somebody put it there, you know? And whether she was facilitating that and basically he overdosed from it and wanted to cover it up, and you know, I don't know. There's a lot of motives that it could have been, but she knew he was there. 100% knew he was there.
My thing was somebody would have heard the shotgun go off too, and somebody would have rushed through the house looking. But that would have been a little bit more believable if she ran upstairs and saw, oh my God, look what just happened, as opposed to, oh, it's been 3 days. Let me hire a private investigator to find Kurt Cobain.
It's the oldest trick of the. Oh, he's
Exactly.
here. He's been here the whole time. That's crazy.
He was making a sandwich.
Yeah, what was the actual document? Oh, Soaked in Bleach.
Yes. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. And again, you know, whether she did it or hired somebody to do it, there was, like you said, a whole lot going on. A divorce that was conveniently about to happen. I don't know. You know, and then again, thinking about this album, it's. You know, he was talking about the Leadbelly song, Where Did You Sleep Last Night? Like, this is...
Yeah.
It was one of the greatest recordings ever. All of these versions of these songs are still the ones that you hear played. You know, even if it's a song that they play completely normal, radio stations will still put on these acoustic versions.
Yeah.
Just because of how crazy they are. I mean, they just don't sound like anything else you've ever heard. And I think, you know, Lane with the Alice in Chains one, did a good job of it too, and we were talking with Melissa that, you know, it's even with Alanis, like it was just such a different style than what their normal style is, and to hear these grunge people, you know, which was back in the days of the Mono Wars and stuff like that, where music was just trying to be as loud as humanly possible. You were making out good if you were louder than the next band on the radio, and you know, to hear them stripped down and turned down, and even in I think the Nirvana one, you hear like a bunch of like feedback and shit the whole time.
Yeah,
like you can tell it's live, and that's the biggest thing, you know.
Well,
you get with a lot of these bands too, where like they want to be perfect and absolutely note for note perfect. But
they said when this happened with the grunge era bands was it was going to either expose them. For you know, bullshit melodies and bad lyrics, or it was going to, you know, prove, you know, that their lyrics, and I think it proved it, you know, and I think a lot of people were kind of blown away because again, every band that did it did a great job. you know, and they did a phenomenal job at it too. Yeah, that was one of those. Yeah, man, I know exactly. I watched that. So I watched that twice actually. That whole documentary, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what they call it. It's like a investigative documentary. You know, whatever they call that stuff. So
yeah, the 20 gauge Remington Model 11.
Yeah, that's the Remington Model 11. That's a long gun. You know.
Yeah.
So
with a compensator on the end of it.
Yeah, and again, no fingerprints.
You know, I guess it happens sometimes, right? You know, it's just the oils of the hands. They'll magically wipe away all crimes.
Yeah.
But it looks like we've got our next day's guys joining us.
Nice.
Do you want to run that promo and then we will go right into them?
Yeah, go for it. Let's do it.
Yeah, here we go.
Nice. Yo, gentlemen, what's going on?
Hey, man, how are you?
How you doing, Rob? It's good to see you, my brother.
You too, my friend. How are you?
We're alive and well, man. Excited about this weekend. We're huge fans of grunge music. I've been wanting to do this like acoustic and real grunge weekend for a long time, and being able to have the acoustic bands playing, and then have you guys come in and just like beat the shit out of everybody the next night with like full bands, all out, era. And it's funny because I keep saying that because I guess it's what it is. People know it as grunge music, and I always said, in the same aspects of Cornell and some of the others, that it's just rock, man. It's rock. But I think it got that grunge name because a lot of the early bands out of Seattle had more of that punk rock to rock feel. You know what I mean? Like, and it was a little bit of a difference because everyone knows, and you both know that, that it really, everything blew up with Nevermind. That was the album that brought Seattle to life and brought everyone out of the woodwork and said, oh my God, what kind of music's going on over there? What's happening over there? But Alice in Chains and Soundgarden had already had albums out that were killer albums, but Nevermind's kind of opened the door, and then they kind of walked their way through and said, yeah, don't forget about us back here,
Right.
But prior to them, there were bands like Tads and, Mudhoney and stuff like that were just, they were a little more on the grungy side, if you would say, like more of a punk rocky feel, That one album, Tads, is literally called God's Balls. So it's
Right.
when you name an album God's Balls, damn well it's definitely got a punk rock aspect going into it. So
For sure.
But look, tell us a little about you. So Matt, we haven't met you yet. Why don't you give us a little insight about the band? And I love your shirt, by the way, Headbangers Ball, man. So great.
Yeah.
So great. Give us a little insight about the band, what got you guys into the music, and a little bit about you.
So almost 20 years ourselves doing this, some of us anyway. I started something way back. My lineup is completely different now at this point. You go through different phases and guys come and go, and then you finally find what you were really looking for, what you really needed. And so far this particular lineup's been at it for about 4 years, and it's just catapulted to the next level. It was definitely what we needed. And so we've been doing that, just playing all over the island, trying to expand, trying to get out of the island. Thanks to Rob and Black Days, we've been able to play some other places. So, always props to him. And
I'm excited.
we're just big AIC fans.
Matt, I got to tell you, man, if Rob says you're good, you're good. Because no, dude, I trust. I really do. I trust him. He knows. I have two guys that I absolutely love. Him and Joe that do a Cornell tribute, and between the two of them, they're just such good people, and they're so freaking talented, man. It's like it's so hard sometimes to figure out, but I can't say no to either of the bands. And whenever Rob brings something in, like it's almost Creed. It's just freaking ridiculous, man. I mean, it's Steve and I agree. And Steve is a big Creed fan. That it's better than Creed right now. So I mean, it's just it is what it is. The truth.
Thank you, man. Can't thank you enough for that. Appreciate that,
yeah, man. And I love it, man.
With that being said, that's why I chose Matt to do the Sons of Seattle tour thing with, because they're gonna melt your face off, man. And I appreciate you trusting me to put the show together. I think it's gonna be a killer. I really do.
I'm excited. When you sent it over to me, I was excited. So, and it's funny because it's like you're doing Nirvana and you're quoting U2. You still haven't found what you're looking for. You finally found it, I guess, huh? First thing I thought when you said that, I'm like, wait a minute, that's a U2.
Yeah. Well, the passion for the music speaks for itself, and we'll portray that on that stage,
And for you, Rob, I mean, you're talking about emulating probably one of the greatest singers of the rock era. I mean, the guy had a vocal range, man, that was like 4 octaves or something like that. I mean,
yeah, exactly right. 4 octave range, and it certainly ain't easy. But at this point in time, as a musician, we're getting into our early 50s. If you're not challenging yourself at this point, what really? What's the point?
Well, that's a good way to put it, man. That's a good way to put it.
And, he's always been a huge influence of mine. I was lucky enough to collaborate with him on my original project. So we met a few times, I actually, this, if you can see this, let's zoom in on this here. This is the actual amp and rig that he played on a 20th anniversary Super Unknown tour.
Oh, wow.
And I'm lucky enough to be in possession of it.
It looks like a large box of Marlboro.
It does. And he normally never played a red rig, but it makes it even more special. So that will be at your establishment this Saturday.
Oh, dude, that's so cool, man. That is
man.
Cool. We did that to Stryper. Stryper played, and they're Christian heavy metal, and what was it? It was orange, right, Steve?
Yeah.
When the kick came in, it was supposed to be black or yellow. It came in orange. Like, wow, man, this is like the opposite of anything we've ever played on stage.
Yeah, so it's been an amazing journey. I was actually fortunate enough to get Chris Cornell's text phone number because I was in search of that model amp. So he says, I remember renting this particular rig in red, but we never had any other color other than black, red, and maybe green. So he hooked me up with this store in Manhattan, in New York City. Made the phone call, says to me, I have something that's going to absolutely blow you away, which is this here.
Wow. That's awesome, dude. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it in person and hear it.
Yeah, heck yeah. It sounds amazing. I don't know if you're a Divided by 13 fan or not, but it's definitely a great setup for sure.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it, man, to be honest with you. It's one of those things, it's funny because we were just talking, a lot about, losing Kurt Cobain in the way we did. And, we also lost, Chris Cornell, another, to suicide.
Oh, yeah.
Just, it's just one of those things. And, like we said, if you know anybody or if there's anyone out there, it's dial 988, get some help, call a friend, do something and understand that it's, mental health is a serious thing that, people go through. I've lost some good friends that were soldiers in my team from when I was in the military to suicide. And it's a really tough thing to deal with. And you guys are, you're keeping that music alive and trying to keep Cornell's voice alive. Is just, dude, I have to commend you for that because it's a tough thing to do. Yeah. It's a tough thing to do. Now, John, you came in. How you doing, John?
I'm good. Can you guys hear me?
And I'm not which band are you with and what do you play?
I am I'm the drummer in Love Hate Love.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure because I got the earpiece in so you guys can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. My earpiece isn't working. It's at least somebody's does.
How you guys doing? What's up, Rob?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Rob, I love the Sound of Seattle tour because, like I said, I think it's a cool It's a cool concept. I think it's something you could probably push for a good year or so and bring it around to a lot of places. You know.
So yeah, we were able to book a couple of different nice venues like yours. Not as nice as yours, of course, but yeah, it's going very well. It's they like the package because you're offering the multiple band type of night, so it gives the people opportunity to listen to just more than one or two of that genre, which is great.
Yeah. Yep. And again, people that you can't see anymore. You can't see Cornell. You can't see Cobain. You can't see Lane Staley.
Right.
These people are all gone.
Exactly.
So to be able to keep their music alive, and for me, look, I love Nirvana. I love Cornell. I'm a big Alice in Chains fan, man. I love Alice in Chains. It's probably one of those bands I remember. Jar of Flies was just like one of those albums I listened to over and over and over again, man. And I fell in love with them. And of course, when Nevermind came out, that was just like, what the fuck are we even? Where'd this come from? Because you remember during that era of music. I mean, we were at a time where it's like rock was dead. The Who said said rock will never die, but it was dying, man, and we didn't know what was happening. And then out of nowhere, off the West Coast in Seattle, man, came this sound, and then we all thought, oh wow, that's great. And then all of a sudden, you got Alice in Chains, and you got Soundgarden out of it, and the other bands have followed. But these were the three big ones, man. These were the three, real bands. When you throw Pearl Jam in there, of course, you got the four, but these were the three originals. I think. Am I wrong in saying that that Soundgarden was the first of these bands to get a major record deal? Weren't they?
That's right.
They were
out of the four bands. That's what I thought. Yeah, I thought they were one of the first ones, and they went on tour, didn't they? They were one of the first Seattle bands that went to Lollapalooza as well, did they not? I think in 92.
They were asked to go on tour with Guns N' Roses, and that's really what put them on the map. Yeah.
I just think it's cool, man. I just think there's so much history in the thing, and I'd love, especially from you, Rob, just to get a little your thoughts on the history of the grunge scene and your history of these bands, and how it changed the music scene.
Well, in a way, it was just like the British rock type era, where it paved the way for a entire generation, of new listeners, new music. In my opinion, kind of killed the whole glam rock scene. I was never a huge fan of that. Once Guns N' Roses came out and Soundgarden and all those type sounding bands, it really, I think, put a dent into the glam rock era.
Oh, people are kicking themselves too. You got to remember, Motley Crue was the ones that threw them up there in front of them. They were opening for the Girls tour. And then all of a sudden, Appetite for Destruction, people are like, wait a minute, man. And then, they were going, that was one of those things where they were going to see the opening band, and they didn't realize, what they had done. And, again, like you said, the Guns N' Roses opened the door, and put, the grunge band on the scene. It's kind of a cool way that it moved through, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So. But I saw that. I saw them in Atlanta. I was in the military, and I saw Guns N' Roses open up for the Girls tour. We were like, dude, I don't know who that band is, and opened up, but they were fucking good, man.
Right.
And about 2 months later, you're hearing this, Welcome to the Jungle on the radio every 13 seconds, and you're like, wow, man, that's freaking. And you knew they were going to be good. I mean, the singer was a little odd. He kind of looked like he was glued to the stage and didn't move much. Kind of just shook back and forth, but the music was great. And I think Slash, to me, when I saw them, Slash sold that band, man. He was just, the guitar riffs and just the way his presence on stage, I thought was really cool. So
sure.
I had a couple of things I was going to ask. I wanted to bring up to you real quick because look at this. I just see this. Kurt Cobain's first ever stage dive was in Seattle in April 1991, and he broke his nose because no one stopped. Could you imagine that? Kurt Cobain jumps off a stage, and everyone moves out of the way so he can smash his face in the ground because nobody knew who he was. Yeah, nobody knew who he was, man. So this is the other thing I had written down. So some of the Seattle bands that I personally wish, I wrote these down. These are some of those bands that kind of they were. What was the name of the record company? Something Pop. Who was the
Sub Pop?
Yes, Dub Pop. They were that was the original record company that was basically putting everything on their credit cards to get these albums out. I mean, these guys were like, selling their children to get money to put this music out. But I put this list of, I don't know if you remember, Truly, Green Apple, Quick Step, Skin Yard, and Tad. I love Tad. So I mean, it was just like they were some great bands, man. That kind of never they were part of it, but they kind of stayed in Seattle. They didn't make the album that brought them, to the forefront. And
so one of the bands that you mentioned, Soundgarden being one of them, had no intentions of being signed to a label.
Yeah.
So Soundgarden had a particularly 15-song demo on a cassette tape called The First 15. And once it got out into the public, it just blew up from there. They started recording, and the rest is history. I met Susan Silver, obviously, that I think is still, would know better than me, but I'm pretty sure she's still Alice in Chains' manager.
Last I knew she was. Yeah, the last I knew she was still.
Oh, wow. Wow, man, that I didn't know that either. Well, you remember Nirvana had their original thing they put out was called Bleach. And that was one of the things that Dave Grohl did to get in the band. He actually came in and played the entire thing, the entire album through, and they went like, "Well, I guess you're our drummer, man." So that's how he did the gig. He played their original like EP album for them, which is kind of cool, man. There's something else I wanted to ask you about, man, because I had written down some really cool stuff. Speaking of glam bands, I forgot that Lane Staley's first band was a glam band called
I was actually going to say that before. Yeah, I was going to say how
You're talking about
Rob's point.
Yes. Yeah.
To Rob's point about how like he was saying how it's like Alice in Chains was kind of like one of those bands that started that transition away from the glam thing. It's like Lane was like all about it. You know what I'm saying? I was going to say the connection there.
Yeah, isn't that crazy though when you think about Lane Staley doing like hair metal and shit, glam metal?
Well, there's a video. Like I totally remember seeing a video a while back of him in that band, right? And like he was all glammed up and like
makeup,
and,
earrings,
the whole
earrings.
Yes, you guys know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I remember being like, whoa, like it was crazy.
And that was that according to my notes, that was like early 1984.
He was just out of high school.
Exactly. It said that he would wear full makeup, spandex, and they covered a bunch of Poison and Rat songs. Apparently, it was more of a cover band. Yeah.
And what's funny is one of his biggest influences was King Diamond. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, I know King Diamond, of course, but
loved King Diamond. He loved he always said he loved the heavier music than he made. So he was a big like Pantera fan, and he always liked the heavier stuff, but didn't create the heavy stuff. That's something I read that he actually said out loud once. But King Diamond was like his god.
They said when Lane recorded the Dirt album, he was literally living in the studio at the time.
Yes.
And the producer basically said it smelled like cat piss and cigarettes.
I can only imagine.
Until they got him out of there.
I remember reading something about it, just like he was in a dark place. Like everything. He was just in a dark, so I mean what he was able to produce from that. I mean
but that's what I was gonna say. Do you think the album would have been as good if he wasn't in that place in time,
Well, that's the funny thing about that's what I'm saying. Like that's like in my opinion the thing about music. It's like, I mean, to say it's unfortunate, but it's like it provides that magic. Like how many albums, how many tracks, how many records have come out of people's despair and just agony, and you know what I mean? Like it's almost kind of like an unnecessary evil, or just like but it has to happen. I mean, it just opens up the door to so much creativity, and people just kind of let it out. And obviously we're talking about Lane right now, but I mean that could be said about so many other artists. It's just so interesting how that's kind of like the channel, you know what I mean? That's the catalyst for so much of this creativity.
It's like emotional fuel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
we were talking about to the other bands that are playing Friday. It's basically an acoustic. We're doing a tribute to the unplugged era of MTV, and Nirvana did probably one of the most famous albums of that era with their unplugged album, and it was done. They literally did it. There's only 2 albums of that whole series that were ever done in basically one take, one night, and Kurt's was that because. And what made it so good was because he was whacked out on heroin. He had, I forget what else he had in his system, but a few things. He was in a bad mood. He was going through a fight with the old lady. Like a whole bunch of shit was going on with him at the same time. And they thought this is just going to be the worst thing we've ever done. And it ends up being one of the, I mean, if you watch him in that video, he's just a greasy, disgusting mess of a human being wearing a dirty sweater. And dude puts on probably one of the best live performances of all time. I mean, it's crazy, and it's and I think that's what made Kurt Cobain, Kurt Cobain. That's why he became the legend he became. And think he was 27. I mean, I think about him in the same context as I think about like a Jim Morrison or something. Like, was that where he needed to be? And where we needed to lose him. The same with Lane Staley. The same with Cornell. I mean, look at Chris Cornell. He was talking to his wife apparently. Not long before he took his own life. And he was, in a good mood apparently, and everything was fine. It's like you just don't know, man. You don't know what someone's inner struggles are, but God, when they were going through the struggles and making this music, look what it did. I mean, look what they created. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, it really.
I remember like one of the things about Kurt Cobain when I was a kid. I mean, I'm an '86 kid. That's when I was born. So like, I missed out firsthand seeing a lot of the things. But I've more than done my homework and all that. But like, I just remember that listening to Kurt's voice. Like you know how you like just hear people make comments about any insert singer. How soulful their voice is, or like you can just hear the emotion in their voice. Like Kurt was one of the first singers where I legitimately heard that like pain and despair. You know what I mean? Like he had just like he had the facial expression going, and you just kind of it was no BS. You know what I mean? Like, and he's one of the many like the plethora, so many artists, so many bands that I can name that has brought me to where I am today in terms of like being a fan of music and performing it. But like, I got to give props to Kurt because he was just one of the first guys that I legitimately was like, man, this guy's going through it. You know what I mean? And
yeah, no, you're right. You're right. But what's funny, John, that you bring that up is how they all came out of this great era of music that they created themselves, but they all had their own distinct sound. Like you look at Eddie Vedder, you look at Lane, you look at Kurt, you look at Cornell. They all were in that same world of rock, but they all had such a distinct sound that was just theirs. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. To me, it was just like, especially again, like you said, Kurt Cobain and Eddie Vedder. They're just something about Eddie's mumbling. When he starts mumbling, but people just make up words because the melody is so good. You're just like, I don't know what he's saying, but I love this shit, man. It's fucking great. Then Cornell, you could hear every word, every syllable. When you listen to a Cornell song, it's like, I don't know, man. I love this era of music, man. I just think it was such a great thing that happened to music.
Another first is going to your point about Eddie. I remember seeing Jeremy, right? The music video, and that thing that Eddie, would do with his eyes.
Oh yeah,
you guys know that clip I'm talking about. It's like he was like possessed or something, man. Like it's just wild.
I didn't know Rob, if you knew this, that Chris Cornell drummed on the first Temple of the Dog demos. So the first demo of Hunger Strike was Cornell on the drums.
Yeah, he actually demoed a lot of drums, some of the Soundgarden stuff as well, like Ugly Truth.
Nice.
Was completely written by Cornell. All the instruments were done by him, and he brought it to the band. And they did their thing with it from there. But he was a master at production and recording his own demos, all that kind of stuff.
No, that's obvious in what he's done in his what he did in his career. But and who'd have ever thought that Temple of the Dog would have ended up becoming probably one of the best super groups you could have ever put together? You know what I mean? I think the only other one for me that doesn't even rival it though is probably Velvet Revolver. I always thought Velvet Revolver was great. But,
excellent band, yeah.
Yeah, but Temple of the Dog, man, who'd have ever thought that you put these guys together, you were going to get a record like that, man? You know?
It was never meant to be anything more than just a tribute to a friend that passed away.
Exactly. Yep.
And let's not forget Mad Season. That was an amazing project as well.
I forgot about that. I did.
Yeah.
Wow, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
trying to read a
rehab.
couple of these other things I had here. So Lane Staley and Kurt Cobain were apparently supposed to sing a duet at Rock Against Rape in 1993, but Kurt no-showed and Lane performed Wood with the lights off in protest. I did not know that.
I didn't either. Wow.
It's you know, we didn't even talk about Jerry Cantrell. You know, he played the guitar solo on the original Danzig song "She Rides" in 1988. So Cantrell was apparently in the in that same world too of the you know, I wouldn't call Danzig really a glam rocker, but he definitely did, you know, some hair metal stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this one either, that Pearl Jam's 10 was originally going to be called Mother Love Bone Lives as a tribute to Andy. But Chris Cornell vetoed it because he thought it was too morbid.
Not to mention, they don't sound anything like Mother Love Bone.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray,
I knew this, I don't know if a lot of people knew this, but Alice in Chains Rooster was written about Jerry Cantrell's dad, who, of course, was a Vietnam vet nicknamed Rooster in the Army. I think a lot of people kind of know that one now.
I got the rest of the band here. We're actually in a rehearsal right now. Can you see?
Dude, you should come
Say
on.
hello.
You should do a song for us before we're off.
Say hi to Ken. This is actually a new lineup as well, and our first big show. We had a little local show just recently, but now's the time to unveil it to the world.
Dude,
but yeah, we could do a little something for you if you like.
Yeah, Steve. Let's see if we can get a lot. A lot of times we get the Steve can tell you we have an issue with the sound. So don't play too loud. What is it, Steve? That he's.
What do you mean?
Like sometimes it's like so loud.
It's been a while.
Distorts.
Oh, the compressor kicks in on it. Yeah, there's like a limiter built into basically everything. So.
All right, so we could save it for Saturday. That's all.
No, go for it. Let's
give it a try.
just play like a little bit of it. Let's hear something.
Okay.
Steve will make you
full screen. I gotta see if I can position the phone
I'll
to where you'll see everything.
And we will bring them up. Here we go.
There you go, Rob.
Seeing it all right now. There you go.
You see everything?
Yeah, that'll work.
Not bad.
And let's see, I can make it there on the order.
You guys there?
I love you, baby.
Did you see and hear us?
Yep, we got you.
Cool. Let's give it a whirl. Oh, yeah. Oh. That's
Come on, baby. Hey, you there, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks, guys, because they're playing and we can't really hear them too good. Like Steve said, there's like a limiter built into these podcast things, and it's just because I know they're sounding great over there, and I wish we could hear them better.
You hear it every now and then. It like kicks in just it's like at the end of a line, and you're like, oh yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, but I don't want people to get mad that they can't really hear it. But it's a shame. But you can hear it this weekend. You want to put the card up real quick, Steve, while they're playing back there?
Oh yeah, there you go.
It is the Sons of Seattle Tour 2025, featuring, of course, Love, Hate, Love, and Alice in Chains tribute. I'm a huge Alice in Chains fan. I cannot wait to see this band. Of course, Serve the Servants, doing Nirvana full band, unlike the Saturday show or Friday show where they were doing Unplugged, and of course, Black Days, the ultimate Chris Cornell experience, which we can partially hear back there. Happening right now. It is this Saturday, November 22nd. Tickets are on sale. They're $25.35. You're all in on that price. There are no additional taxes and fees. Doors open at 7. The show starts at 8 p.m. Tickets are available at thelandis.com, or of course, if you come to the show. But again, man, I cannot wait to see this band. Hey, Rob, you there?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it kept going in and out real bad, and I didn't want people to. I want people to know, man, that I want them to hear how you really sound, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, like Steve said, there's a bit of a limiter or something on there. It creates a lot of distortion on this end. But, dude, that studio looks freaking gorgeous, man. Where are you at?
Thank you, man. This is actually at the home studio.
Dude, that is gorgeous, man. I love the colors, man.
Thank you.
Nice
job.
job.
Where it all goes down. Black Days, Almost Creed.
That's where all the magic happens, as they say, right?
we like to think it's magic, you know. But if it's cool, we're gonna cut out because some of the guys live far away, so we want to get through the set and.
Yeah, well, we're at the end anyway. The only thing I wanted to mention real quick was, for people that are going to come out, it is that time of the year, Rob. If you guys in the bands want to bring a few Toys for Tots and throw them into the truck, we're also giving away, Steve, if you have it, we have so anybody who signs up for our mailing list, or you bring a toy out for Toys for Tots, you get in for. We're going to put a ticket in for the end of the show. We're going to give out this book. It's called The Sound of Seattle. It's actually Mike McCready. Pearl Jam does the forward, and it's really, really good book. We're going to give this away, and also a record. We're going to give away the Soundgarden, basically their greatest hits album there, and that's on vinyl. It's called Soundgarden, the A-Sides. So we're going to give that away as well. That's a vinyl record. So what you do is you come to the show, you sign up for our mailing list, so that way they know when you guys are playing again. And at the same time, they get a ticket to win that. And if they bring a toy in, or for every $10 increment in a donation to Toys for Tots, they get another drawing into it to try and win those. They make great things to keep yourself or Christmas gifts. But this is actually, The Sound of Seattle's a really good book, man. Rob, I think you should pick it up if you don't have it, because
I don't, and I definitely will.
No, it's actually, you would love it, because it goes back into like the 70s with jazz music. And I didn't realize when I first read this book, that's why I ordered this one, that like Bing Crosby was like originally part of the Sounds of Seattle. He came out of Seattle. And you'd be surprised when you read this, you're like, holy shit, these people came out of Seattle. It's pretty neat. It's really neat. It's 101 songs that shaped the city. It's really cool. It's a great book. But Rob, thank you, man. You guys practice, get ready, and we will see you on Saturday, brother.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And Matt and John, it was a pleasure meeting you guys, man. We look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Hey, dude, I can't wait, man. I'm telling you, as you can tell, we're very passionate about this music. I'm passionate about Rob. I think he puts on a great show. His Creed band is just fucking sick. And
thank you very much, man. Very nice.
Yeah, we love you, brother. And if he recommends you guys, I know you're going to be the best of the best that's coming in here. Especially, dude, I love Alice in Chains. I can't wait, John. I can't, man. I can't, man.
Thanks,
have
man.
A good night, guys.
Looking forward to
Rob,
it.
have fun.
See you
safe
soon.
travels getting here, guys. And we will see you on Saturday.
Bye-bye.
Later, Rob.
Again, that is Sons of Seattle Tour 2025. It is all that Seattle music that you love from back in the day, man. Featuring the main act, of course, is Black Days, the ultimate Cornell tribute, and then you have Love Hate Love doing Alice in Chains, and of course Serve the Servants doing Nirvana, and bringing back a lot of people that we've lost, like Kurt Cobain, again Lane Staley and Chris Cornell, and some of those great rock and rollers, man. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be a great show. And Steve, like I do, we love this music, and it's like something that's it's what a cool weekend, man.
Hell yeah.
What a cool weekend, man. You know what I'm glad this weekend doesn't have any of? Ozzy.
Hey, I watched the end of that Frankenstein movie.
Hay is for horses, man. What Frankenstein movie?
The one on Netflix. That's pretty poor ass.
I couldn't get through 5 seconds of that, man. I couldn't watch it at all.
It was quite awful.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how you got through the end of it. I couldn't get through the first 10 minutes.
It took me 3 sessions to watch it. I kept falling asleep. It was bad. Wow.
I watched the other one. What's the one where they play the games? They get shot. Squid Games.
Oh, that was pretty good.
That was good. Well, there's like a real version of it, and it's like they don't really kill the people, but they shoot them with like a black, like pellet or whatever, like a paintball or something.
Yeah.
But it's actually kind of cool, and I think the finale of that is on today as well tonight.
I'll have to check that out. I've been watching the Physical Asia. Did you see that series?
No. Oh yeah, where they all have to like compete against each other in physical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
They had Manny Pacquiao was on the Philippines team.
I saw that.
Was crazy.
I saw that.
I love the way fuck?
I love the way they have like sumo wrestlers and a little bit of everything, man. And then Manny Pacquiao on people.
I was like, wow, dude. Damn. That was interesting. Give a shout out to Richard Fuchsia, who will be selling his photo book in the lobby at our show on December 5th. And Melissa Che, or Shay, how do you say her name?
We'll go with Che.
That sounds good.
Is
for
it
me.
Che?
I don't know.
Che Stadium? I don't know.
I think it's Che.
She's gonna have her jewelry there. It's Che? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like that commie bastard Che Guevara on that T-shirt, whatever the fuck his name is.
Well, I want to bring Rich on for Christmas, so he can come on the show and plug his album stuff. We have that one weekend at the end of the month, Steve, when we have TSO band's the only band we have on. I figured we could bring Rich on and maybe even bring Paul Spinelli on and talk about the Christmas stuff going on. So
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Everyone get your tickets, man.
I wanted to leave this up because at the end of this, he says, if you bring a toy, the first 20 toys that night get a free one of his Van Halen posters.
Oh, nice.
So,
Nice.
adding
Rich.
Cool. Paying it forward, Rich. He's a great guy.
I'm bringing 20 toys just so I can get all 20 of them and sell them.
Yeah. And man, I tell you, we're on Jim Florentine's schedule. He went whole hog promoting your venue. You know what he said? December 5th, Vineland.
He's been here before. So.
Yeah, he's played.
You're the only game in town.
Yeah.
I took a picture. I took a picture with him in your lobby. He was there for a show. Him and Jameson. I forget what they were hosting.
No, they also did a show upstairs. It was the two of them and that chick Natalie, and they did a comedy.
Natalie Cuomo, right?
Yeah.
Hey, look, I remembered her name.
Yeah, I bet you remembered her name.
Yo, that THC drink was fantastic, man.
Yes, we have lots.
I had
of
a hard
those.
time driving 65 on the way home, but other than that, it was all right.
We had one of the THC drinks that we have. What's it called, Steve? Cycling Frog.
Cycling Frog.
Yeah, we've been talking to him about the guys who run that about coming on and sponsoring as well here on the show. There it is, Cycling Frog. They're a great one. Yeah. So
is that the root beer I had?
It says happy hour starts at 4:20.
What do they, Steve? They make the teas, right? The iced teas and the lemonade.
Yeah,
and stuff?
our raspberry lemonade and the lemonade iced tea that are down there.
Steve, you got to try them though, because they're THC and CBD at the same time. It's like a 50-50 of both.
50 milligrams of
That's
each.
good.
Yeah.
That's good for my tendonitis.
It is actually.
I have tennis elbow. It sucks. I don't even play tennis.
You got jerking off elbows. What you got?
We also have seltzers from them too that are 5 and 10 milligram in the same.
Hey,
as well.
behind the
They're
curtain,
all about the,
I have someone for that, Ray.
I don't even know what you're saying, but I don't want to know.
I have someone for that.
Oh, Jesus.
If I were you, I'd say I got a guy, but it's a girl in my case.
I got a guy.
I don't know what I'd do without Steve Desco in our life. Where would we be right now, Steve?
The front of your building would be blank. But I had to go out to my car to talk to you because the internet sucks in my house so bad.
Dude, I'm telling you, a lot of stuff was down today again. Like a lot of big servers were down because of, and like Steve said, there was some solar flares or something going on. So
there was a server called Cloudflare.
Yeah,
honest, and that went down. Yeah. That was where the flare came from.
That uses a wall of lava lamps to keep.
I used to wear my flare when I worked at Bennigan's.
No, there literally was a like, what was it, Steve? Like 2 days ago, it was the solar flare, or 3 days ago.
That's when it
was
it? It was.
Yep.
It was last Tuesday that
last Tuesday, and they said that affects stuff for even your body. It'll affect you mentally and physically.
Yeah, I feel like shit all weekend.
One thing it's not going to affect. Full night of Ozzy Osbourne yesterday and today, set December 5th, on sale now. Guest host Jim Florentine. He's going to do 15 minutes, and then Sabbath Superstars, and then 15 more minutes of Florentine, and then the Land of Oz. Holy shit! No fucking fees.
And if you bring a toy for Toys for Tots, or throw $10 in and sign up for our list, you can win an Ozzy Osbourne record, an Ozzy Osbourne book, a couple T-shirts. What do you're throwing in $100? What else you throwing in there?
$100 if we sell out. Didn't you get the disclaimer earlier, young man?
Oh, all right, $100 if they sell out.
Best I can do.
Sell out. I'll payola. Buy now.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a really good show. It's gonna be a fun show, and we're pushing hard on our end too. So
I'm sick of the Amish and the Tool bands and the Pink Floyd bands kicking my ass, and the Eagles band with those power mullets, they're smoked me. Come on, man. Let's outsell the freaking mullets. Let's outsell freaking schisms. Come on, man.
You see what Brain Damage, dude, they really pound it, man. They pound their fans, and that's what I try to tell bands. That's what's so important, is that you've got to pound the fans and because the people that follow you follow Ozzy Osbourne. The people that follow us follow everything, from Elvis to ABBA to you name it. It's there's Ozzy guys in there, but we have everything else too. That's another reason why we're trying to push people into our email list, so they know exactly when you're playing, because they'll get an email that says, "Yo, man, Steve's back. You bought tickets last time. Here they are again." Because a lot of those people aren't on our mailing list, and we want to try and start getting those people on the mailing list.
And March 21st, the Sabbath Boys are back with a Grand Funk Railroad band opening. That's a 70s night. That's going to be ridiculous. And we're coming back. I'm going to do the Heaven and Hell album with the Dio band. And we're going to play a show with Ancient Mariners. They might do a mixed set of mixed martial arts. Eddie. Maybe that tall bastard Joe Morrison will show up again. I ain't seen him in a year.
No, he doesn't show up no more. He's got a kid now. He's got a grandkid.
Wow.
What what was the other? You had sent me another thing too about something else. It sounded really good too.
I think I should get that girl Abby Lee Moscone and go Rainbow and Toto.
Dude, that's it. Dude, that could be your own Wizard of Oz night.
Yeah, I'll let the Toto play second because they got a 10-piece. Now, we really got to sell tickets for that, so those guys can make upwards of $87.50 each. But
well, wait a minute.
I don't know how those Earth, Wind, and Fire bands do it. How do you pay out a band like that?
Can we play the Wizard of Oz movie during those two? I mean, it's the Rainbow and the Toto. People like it, man.
I don't know.
Somehow we got to promote it that way. That we can't do it, but we can promote it like it's another night of Oz.
Okay, I'm just say, Toto. I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. We must be over the rainbow. Boom. We're gonna kill it, man.
Band in there too.
That's what I'm saying. If you put Land of Oz in there, you got Oz, you got Rainbow, and Toto. You got all three. It's like a trifecta of the Wizard of Oz of rock.
Do a Kansas band. You got the Four Corners.
Oh, the Four Corners.
Yeah.
Pyramid.
I think Bob would hang himself 2 10-piece bands in a row. Yeah, that'd be great.
Could you imagine?
I mean, Bob's short. He could use a little rope, but he would still hang himself.
It's true. Well, look, Steve, thank you again for coming on, man. Like always, pretend that he is here.
Yes,
we love you. Tell your wife again. Thank you so much for the cupcakes. They were great, and everyone enjoyed them. Like I said, at the end of the show, I usually always wait until the end, and I share them with our staff, and they did take them, and they did enjoy them. So.
Thank you. I'm coming in next the Tuesday before my show, and we're going to do a couple songs live. If that's cool, Steve, can you do it?
Live from Steve's couch, baby.
Live from my couch.
Okay, I'm there. All right, man. I got a special guest musician coming in with me.
Well, it's a casting couch of sorts, so wear a G-string.
I'll wear some slickers so I don't get any stuff on me.
He's the only person that's ever been on camera on this couch. So
that's right, baby.
Yeah, most of them he doesn't put on camera.
I just tell him. You dangle
we're filming.
We're live right now.
You guys are horrible. All right, gentlemen. All right. Well, look, have a good night, Steve. We'll talk to you next week, probably. All right, brother.
Buy tickets, all of y'all's.
Good night, buddy. You gotta love him, man. He's one of a kind. One of a kind. In a good way. In a good way, man. In a good way. Are you still there? Or did I lose you now too?
I'm here.
Oh, excellent. Well, look, man, it was a good show. Good peeps, man. Some good talk. I think it's going to be a great weekend, man. Like I said, I love the grunge scene. I love the whole idea. We're going to push this really hard and get people out and get people that really love this music like we do to come out and watch. So,
hell yeah.
Again, for our wonderful sponsors, Absolute Vodka, Michael Kelly Guitars, michaelkellyguitars.com, and of course, Keep Calm. it's feelcalm.com, but you keep calm if you take it and use promo code the Landis. You can get 25% off your first order at feelcalm with a K, calm.com. All right, my brother.
All righty.
I love this new camera of yours, man. It actually looks really good. It's
like filmmaker mode, basically.
What's that?
It's like filmmaker mode. It's like the greatest upgrade ever.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's so cool. All right, my brother. I will talk to you mañana.
Yes.
Everyone, thank you again for tuning in. As always, God bless and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Flawless victory.